friend, when the first hints started appearing for me from this that eventually led to the laser, I tried to tell it to another friend. Similar experience where he kind of just looked at me and kind of no, like you're laughing, but it was actually a very painful feeling because
fair.
It's not like he didn't tell you, oh man, you're crazy. No, he said nothing. He looked at me and it turned away. That was actually very painful. I had a different appreciation for what people who are going a little cuckoo must feel like, how painful that is. And then I never spoke another word about this to anyone. I said, unless I figure something out, I'm not going to speak about this again. I'm just going to follow whatever that is, but I'm not going to speak about it. Fast forward a few years, I meet my now beautiful wife, and I told her some of this. Obviously, I had to because it's like, it's a real thing that is happening to me. And again, unless she's experiencing it, I told her about synchronicities. The number 42 started following me everywhere. The universe is not without a sense of humor. But she, again, she loved me, but like, what do you do with that? So she kind of said, cool, what can I say? But then something happened, and she, one of these synchronicities, a pretty crazy one, happened to both of us at a critical moment where we were talking about this thing. So when that happened, she basically jumped up and she couldn't believe it. She was like, what? And I said, I told you, like, it's literally happening. So then she said, okay, show me what you told me. Like, show me the paper, the everything you found, like, show me all of that. So together we would basically, went on this like crazy, almost manic journey to kind of try and go through hints. And somehow we arrived at this conclusion that lasers are supposed to do something. I wasn't sure what.
Yeah.
And that's basically what landed me on the idea of the laser. Now, as you can imagine, this can hardly be folded into what you would call a methodology. Like, that's not a methodology. There's just kind of like obviously there's reasoning going on, but it's too wide. What are you controlling for? There's no, you're not controlling for any variables. There's no, like, you're just kind of winging it, right? But it amounted to something. So like so basically what I discovered is that if you project a diffracted laser on a surface.
What's a diffracted laser?
Here
we go.
It's just a band of light.
Okay.
Thank you. That's amazing. So right there, if you are on DMT right now, what you're going to see inside of this band, not on the surface, but inside, was you looking through the surface, you will see what seems to be like running code. Like straight up like in the Matrix.
And is it code that's moving and processing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It has 3 degrees of freedom. It's arranged in this infinite field of buckyballs. It goes in all directions. So it also goes infinitely into the Z-axis. You can see into the distance. Buckyballs are kind of like these like soccer balls, right?
Yeah.
And then it's a field of them, and they're also arranged into these columns. So they're moving around the buckyballs, they're moving around the columns, and they're switching in one spot, just like in the old, airports. Where
It's
they do
totally the Matrix.
Straight up. Now, for the obvious reasons, this is like very difficult to communicate because even when I saw it for the first time, my wife was next to me, and I'm looking at this, and I go, "There's a code in the wall." And she goes, I don't understand. I said, there's a code in the wall. And then I realized after a few iterations of this that what she's asking that she doesn't understand is that, well, you're on DMT. You can see all kinds of things. Like, why are you surprised by seeing code or anything else, really? There's something about the way it appears that is not hallucinatory. It's just kind of like this mug. Imagine like a field of these mugs just kind of like sitting there, right? Doing a thing. Now, you can say still, like, well, the mug is being hallucinated in the thing. What I mean is that the solidification of what it is as an actual thing doesn't appear, it doesn't have this transient quality that hallucinations do have. They have an evolution as the drug metabolizes in your body. When you look away, you look back, they will change.
They're constant.
What?
It's constant.
This is constant to such a degree that, like, you can look away, you can look back, you can close your eyes, you can rub them, you can move the light around it. So if you move the light, what you see is not moving with the light. The light is moving across it. You see a field that is changing. It's almost like a flashlight in the dark. You're showing more and more of it, basically.
I can picture it because I just picture the Matrix, right?
Essentially,
yeah.
But way more complex than that.
Yeah.
So there's like millions of characters, and they're tiny, but discernible. You can see them very clearly. And it's not even the specifics of the characters. It's the fact that the whole thing they make looks like some kind of a hyper object that you're looking at. You're looking at something. You're looking at a wall of something.
Do you know what type of... Does it look Does it look like code? Does it look like our code, if you know what I mean?
It doesn't look like our code. I don't even know if it's code, but it looks like definitely meaning is instantiated, and there's a discernible symbols. They don't belong to any language we know, for sure. I had people who speak Japanese. It doesn't look like zeros and ones, even though I can actually probably I can. Do you have AirDrop or something? Yeah, I can AirDrop it to you right now. So this is the closest representation that actually my wife made. She's an artist, among other things. So she saw it. So she drew the symbols she saw. She fed it into AI. I'm going to walk you through it. It doesn't look exactly like that, but it's close enough in terms of the vibe of what you're seeing. Connors, there you go.
Yeah.
So we'll pull it up. I'll tell you. So what you're seeing is essentially this field, like I said. In the image, what you're going to see is that the symbols appear in the hexagonal part of the buckyballs. In reality, it doesn't appear in the hexagonal part. If you zoom in, can you zoom in all the way on the hexagons? In reality, you see where the dots are? The dots on the rims? That's where the code would be. So it makes up the whole thing, basically. And the realism of this is way more than the image. Like it's just real. It's just there. Like there's this infinite field of this.
But everyone sees this. Like, is it
well,
2,000?
anybody
2,000 people have seen?
Oh no, for sure, like over 10,000 at this point. Nobody's counting, but like we should. We created a tool called Veilbreak.ai where people can actually. It's basically the GitHub of the laser experiment. People can, even anonymously, they can just leave the report. People can fork other people's experiments. So there is tools online where you can see other people's experiments and see what they say about it. But yeah, the 3,000 number came from like a few years ago. I calculated how many people emailed. At this point, is who knows? Like people replicate this all over the world. But the reality of it is that the second you see it for yourself, you don't need anyone else to tell you. Like right away you're looking at something real. It's that convincing.
And you can describe it the same.
You can describe it the same. You can point to the same regions of space. It's wild. And what's more is that we ran the test in every which way. So we told people to look for something else. We told them, hey, look for all kinds of things. And they said, no, I didn't see what you told me, but I see these like weird Japanese looking or Asian looking things. So like it kind of looks like a hybrid between Japanese, Sanskrit, Hebrew. It doesn't look like any language we know. But and we're creating basically an alphabet, like from all the reports that people make. And we created some tools with. I started a nonprofit called Code of Reality with my partner David Carter, and we are creating actual tools to discern whether people actually see the same thing. So we built software, for example, recently with Sterling Cooley, our brain scan expert, and with Chris Paris, our movie producer. We built a software for Apple Vision Pro. Oh, that's like one of the most recent things. That band of light you saw a second ago. We took a very high resolution image of it. So like we took macro lens and put it really close. Then Chris cleaned that image. And then he calculated the ocular distance and put it inside of Apple Vision Pro. So now you're inside of VR looking at the band of light. If you're on DMT, the code appears in the image, but it's frozen.
Because it's a snapshot?
We don't know.
We don't know.
But what we're trying to study now, what we're trying to study now is that whether or not it is still a projection or is there actual information in the image. So the way we're going about this is that we took that software. What it does is that your brain is being scanned in real time and you label. So if you see a symbol, you click on it. So, Apple Vision Pro is really good about coordinates, right? So it knows the exact coordinates of the image. And it registers your mental event in that moment. So it correlates. This is what your brain looked like when you saw it. And this is exactly where it was. And then it opens a radial menu that gives you 6 potential symbols that we discerned are the 6 topologically most reported symbols. And you tell us which one you think it was the closest to. And then after you report that, you keep doing this. So now you have a bunch of locations, a bunch of mental events, and a bunch of places where you told us what you saw. Then you start running it across individuals. Eventually, AI will be able to tell you, people reporting the exact same symbol in the exact same place, or no, people are not reporting the same. So we're waiting. It's going to take a few months to do it, but
whoa,
yeah,
it's wild that thousands of people are seeing the same thing.
Well, Reportedly the same thing.
Reporting,
Now, well, the realism of the object is reported the same by everybody who sees it.
Yeah.
We also important to mention, to be fair, we found that about 30% of people actually having a really hard time with this, and sometimes having a very hard time seeing it, and some like just can't see it.
Is there any correlation between them?
No, we try to figure it out. I do think that eventually, when we do figure it out, it will tell us something very fundamental. I think the reason for that is very technical. I think there's something about the way they project their attention